want to make this video, and I apologize if it's long, but it's something that needs to be said, especially about mental health and the state of where we're at. People closest to me, and if you don't know, I battle chronic depression. It's very hard day to day to hide it. It's very hard day to day to function. Something I've dealt with for as far as I can remember. I don't think it's nobody's fault that I'm the way I am. I think it's something that we all go through, that we don't know how to deal with, that we're scared to talk about because the way people look at us. But some things need to be said because I'm tired, very tired. I'm tired of the way the world is dealing with mental health, because the way we're dealing with it now, the chronic depression, and when I say chronic depression, I say that like everything could be going perfect, but it's still sad. Because when everything is going right, it's just a countdown to when everything is going wrong. So also, when you're chronically depressed, it's like I'm trying to help everybody like it's going to fix my issues. A lot of people that knows me knows it's very hard for me to say no to people whenever they ask for anything, because I always look at it as I don't know if I'm ever going to be in that situation and need that help. And then when I am in that situation and need the help and don't get it, I get very, very mad at myself. But let me stop beating around the bush, and I'm going to really say some things that some of you may be alarmed, but please don't be alarmed. Please don't call me. Please. The best way that you can help is I'm going to give you the signs, and you're going to be able to see this in the people that you love, that you care about, to actually reach out and help them. For one, I talk to a lot of people in my condition, so what I'm about to say, I'm confident in saying, because we who are depressed, we know each other. The ones that are suicidal, the ones that are drowning, we know each other. We know the signs. Even if we don't say it to each other, we know each other. And it's something that we all, even when seeking help, I don't get it twisted. I see a psychologist and I see a psychiatrist. So it's not like we're not getting help. It's not like we're not talking to somebody. It's not like we're not keeping active. It's very hard to explain, but I will honestly say we do beat around the bush a lot about how we feel. We know how to talk to people to get them off our back. We know how to tell people, oh, I feel much better, or I feel a lot better, just to get it to stop. Because I don't know if there is a cure. The only cure is maybe a society change. But I do want you to share this. I'm not doing this for notoriety. I'm not doing this for any reason but to help people, because people are out here hurting, they're drowning, and people are attacking them and not knowing what the real issue is. Because if we came out and told you what our real issue is, you'll probably try to lock us up. And most of us know that, so we never are 100% truly honest with anybody. Especially about as honest as I'm going to be today. So here goes. So every day I wake up upset. I wake up upset because I woke up. Every day, there's not a day that goes by. It hasn't been a day that went by in a very, very long time. And when I say very long time, I'm talking about like from the age of 10. That's the earliest I can remember having these thoughts. But I wake up every day wishing I wouldn't have woke up. I go to bed every night wishing I will never wake up ever again. That doesn't make me suicidal per se, because I don't think I have the strength, as bad as I may want it. I don't think I have the strength to sit here and say I can kill myself, because as bad as I may think I want to die, and as bad as it hurts, to be honest with you, I'm opening up. To be totally honest, I don't think I have the strength to actually kill myself. So for those who don't know, every time you go see a psychologist, you go to the VA, which I am a Air Force veteran, disabled vet. Every time you go to a psychiatrist, every time you go to somebody's psychologist's office, they ask you, do you feel like harming yourself? Do you feel like killing yourself? And we all know the answer no, because if we answer yes, we know exactly where we're going. But every day I wake up, and every hour of each day, I wish I was dead. I don't wish I want to be. I don't want to be alive. I don't want to be living. Main reasons: I hate this world. I hate the way that we comprehend things. I have a best friend who I've spoken to, and he's a real good friend. And we talk about these things, but we have different views on people who commit suicide. When I see somebody who commits suicide, a lot of people mourn, but they never think about, are they at peace? Like what goes on in their head? And people say, oh, that's selfish. But 9 times out of 10, that person was not a selfish person when they were here on this earth. Anybody who knows me knows I'll give them the shirt off my back without even asking what you need it for. But I also want to make it clear, the way I feel, nobody caused that feeling. Nobody made me feel this way. I don't know why I feel this way, but I hate this world. I hate what the world has came to. I don't want to be alive. If I was to die today, I will be at peace. My soul will be able to rest. I don't feel like I sleep well. Everything bothers me when I sleep. If there is a pinch of light that goes through the curtains, that will wake me up out my sleep, and it'll be so difficult for me to get out of sleep. If I'm with somebody and they roll over and I wake up from that it'd be hard for me to go back to sleep. I'm a very light sleeper because I am never at rest. Like I said, it started when I was 10, from my earliest memory of it. Speaking with my grandmother about it for the first time ever was with her. Was expressing to her that I wanted to die. I didn't want to live. And I know some people like to blame childhood. I don't think I feel this way because of my mother. And everybody in my family, it's no secret. So I'm not, my mother did a great job raising me. I wouldn't be the man that I am today if it wasn't for her. She taught me hard work. She tried to teach me not to rely on nobody. She tried to teach me that in this world, sometimes people are going to say no to you and you just got to figure it out. So it's not because I was not warned about the way the world was, because my mom damn sure did a great job of preparing me for this world. Me and her differences doesn't really have to do anything with my condition. She didn't cause my condition. To be honest with you, I think my mother was hurt in the past. She lost her father at an early age. I don't know how that affected her mentally. My mother is really not the type of person to talk about her real feelings. To this day, what I know about my mother's childhood was told to me by other people. I don't really know. I'm gonna be honest with you. If I had to write a book about my mother growing up, like how she was growing up and her life story, I would have to get a lot of help from the time I was born and back. I really don't know who my mother was before she had me. But I gave that lady hell growing up, and from school and stuff. And the way she dealt with me as a kid was the only way she knew how. And I never really fought her for the way I grow up. May not agree with it, but sometimes as a parent, we ought to do one or two ways of raising our kids. We either do it because that's what we were taught, or we were taught something that we didn't like and we want to go against, how we was raised, or we want better than how we were raised. But me wanting to die, me not wanting to live, I think it's more on a collective. I think everything has its little pieces, but I'm not going to sit here and say that it was because of one thing or one person. I can't. Because at 10 years old, to feel like that, I didn't even experience the world. So with that being said, what I'm saying is it could have been something hereditary that we don't know about. I could tell you one thing, it's not something a pill can solve. Because the only thing a pill does is repress it. And if I accidentally or don't take that pill and all those feelings come back at one time, that can be hell. That can be hell. So, to get back to the subject at hand, I don't want to live ever. I can go get help immediately after I finish posting this video. Go through all their programs, do everything they need to do. I can go in there and say, hey, I feel much better, but to be honest with you, all be an act. I've been there, done that. I've been admitted to psychiatric hospitals. I've been, as early as last year, to be honest with you, I had one time lied and said I was going out of town for something, and actually went and checked myself into a psychiatric hospital because I actually felt like this may be the day I actually kill myself. And you're probably now asking yourself, if you want to die, or if I have a loved one that wants to die but says though they don't want to kill themselves, that doesn't make sense. A lot of people think it's just an act, or it's just for attention, or it's just for a show. That's why I don't really like to come out. But I go through these periods where I feel so overwhelmed, so stressed. I have mental breakdowns, and they get bad. Sometimes they get violent. I had an episode maybe about 3 years ago at a Golden Corral where it got violent, and I possibly could have gotten in a lot of trouble. And after that incident, I knew I had to get help, and that's what I did. So those outbursts and things, I do know how to control them a lot better. I do know what I need to control them. I don't always get it, but it's very hard for me sometimes to build relationships on a deeper level, because you can tell somebody how you feel, what you're going through, and they just don't understand, or it'll go in one ear and out the other. And I'm a type of person where I just want everything to be positive. I hate negative energy because it puts me in that space. So a lot of times, and everybody who knows me knows I'll joke a lot. I'll joke a lot to get around a situation or to avoid it from being negative or sad. Anybody who knows me knows, even, when people do die or people do, or if it's a sad situation, I always try to lighten the mood because I just hate that negative energy. But going back to the subject of why we don't commit suicide when we feel like we want to die, and that reason is because when I see young people who do die at young ages, who has so much promise, or, I see a father who passed away because his kids or something, who has kids or something, when I see people who get shot just at the pinnacle of reaching their dreams and stuff like that, I feel bad. I always ask God, why didn't you take me? There's so many people that love this person, and I feel like I'm such a likable but unlovable person that you could have taken me instead of that person. Why do I get to live? So each day I work hard. Each day I try to be the best me I can. I try to be the best teacher of all things. Of everything I know. Anybody who knows me, if I got the information, I'm going to give it to you. If I know something, I'm going to go do it first and then pass it along so everybody can eat, or everybody can share, or everybody can enjoy whatever information I have. But I don't live for myself. I live for the people who's already died, who shouldn't have. That's, I think, the only thing that keeps me alive from not wanting to commit suicide, because those people should have lived. They still should be here, and I shouldn't, because I don't want this. I think it's unfair, but who's to say what's fair and unfair? People ask, do you believe in God? Do you pray? Yes, yes, yes. You can believe in God all day. There's people out here that believe in God that's still evil, that's still good. But just because you believe in God, or you go to church, or you do this, or you do that, it doesn't take away the feeling. it's hard. And you're probably asking yourself, do we have people we can talk to? Yes, we do. My sister, somebody who I talk to often, my cousin Kawana, my cousin Candia, they all know about these feelings that I have. They check on me quite often, and I thank you for that. I do have my friends, Jeff, some know him as Scotty, Brandon, I talked to about this. Recently, me and Lamar just started opening up about stuff like this. My friend Corey Williams, who actually, I don't know if he really knows this, but he saved my life. I was in the military. I don't know if you know, I joined the military at 17 years old. And when I left, he was the only one I had. He used to let me come to his house and get away from the barracks, because it was a lonely time, 17 years old, going to, fight in the military, and it gets lonely. I didn't feel like I had a support system back home. My mom was trying to explain to me the process of going to the military, but for some reason it just wasn't resonating to me. And it was a lot harder than I thought it was, but Corey was a shining hope. He used to let me escape to his house just to do simple stuff, watch video games, watch the game, watch the fight, get a home-cooked meal, simple stuff like that. And he saved me from a hard time. I used to have a friend that I could always call, but he passed away. And I know everybody puts like pictures and stuff on Facebook and say a nice little message, but I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. But when Coy passed, man, it hit me hard. It hit me real hard. Coy passed hit me real hard. Because he was somebody I could just go to Virginia, and Coy didn't care where I was at. Coy would just come see me, and we would talk. We would talk for hours, whether we just be standing in the parking lot, whether we be bar hopping. But we used to talk for hours, even if I just called him and be like, yo, I just need some advice. Coy never not answered the phone. Coy never not showed up whenever I needed him. So it was hard. It was real hard when Coy passed, man. I miss him a lot. But that's the reason why I live. Because Coy loved his son so much. And he was a good person, man. And he worked so hard for his son. When his son was born, he was so happy, man. And despite, everybody has their, issues with their significant others, but he loved that little boy. He worked hard for him. And man, was a good man. And it deserved to be me and not him. It deserved to be me. I shouldn't be here, and he should still be here. But it's extremely hard to deal with this world. And I have to be honest with you, man. I just wanted to die. because I just don't want to deal with this world. But no, that doesn't mean that going I'm going to do something or anything like that. But there's people out here that every time you call them, they're saying yes. Every time you need them, they say yes. Every time you ask them if they're all right, they're all right. They're cracking jokes. But deep down inside, they're dying inside. They don't have the answers for their own life, but they have the answers for everybody else's. And they just want to die. Because that's sometimes the only way to stop the pain. But they don't have the courage to do it themselves. So certain people, I really know that I've passed on, and I can't cry for them. I have to be happy for them because I know they're at peace. And while we're crying here because they're not here, it's low-key selfish because we never got to understand that person. And I know we say, God needed an angel and all of that, and all those little cliche sayings, but there's people that's already walking around dead. But they really have no answer to why they feel the way they feel. And it sucks because I honestly don't know. Everything hurts. Everything hurts. I'm not somebody who asks for help often. I don't need your help now. But the reason why I'm doing this is because I've always found a way to help somebody in need who felt like me. And there's people that does help me. Pat, one of my bowling buddies who became my good friend, Pat, read your book, which helped. But also appreciate you for allowing me to just call you sometimes and just get it out. Like, get the frustration out. Because it's not a lot. It gets frustrating sometimes when you talk to somebody and then they immediately go to their problems or tell you how your problems is small or whatever. Sometimes you just need to get it out. But it hurts and it's not easy. Sometimes we fail to listen to people. One clear sign is when somebody says, I'm tired. I'm just tired. That is a clear sign of help. Somebody said, I'm overwhelmed. That is ultimate sign for help. But I need help. So hard to say. Because, I don't know. But there's people that are really feeling like this. And they're scared to say it because y'all gonna either see this and reach out only because y'all see this. Please don't. To help me, the best way to help me would be to help the world. Help the next person. Because when we really start helping each other and listening to each other, it's one of the best ways to cure mental health. Because when we feel like there is actually somebody that listens, that can relate, that can, and don't get it twisted, you don't have to understand. just have to listen and just say, sometimes I'm here for you. Get it out. What do you need from me? What can I do? And be sincere about it. Be the person of your word. Because you got, and that's not even, and we're not even just talking about family, friends. I'm talking about at your work. I'm talking about at your job. Because there's somebody that came to your store in pain. There's somebody that came on your call center line hurting. And they're looking for help. And you say, hey, I'm going to do this for you. And then people just say it just to get them off the line. Or they just say it just to move on to the next customer. And they don't help. All of that hurts. I don't know you. I had a situation this weekend where a lady told me, hey, I'm going to come right here after I finish. And she didn't do it. And I know it's something as simple as that. And you're probably like, oh, well, you don't know that lady. You don't. And I don't know her. I don't know what she did. But when you tell somebody like me you're going to do something and you don't do that, or you don't even at least come and acknowledge, man, that hurts. That hurts like 10 times. Because I'm going to tell you something. I've walked away from money because of that. I don't want your money. I don't want your business. If you're going to tell me something and then not do it, I don't care if it's the worst thing in the world. I will sit here and drive. I don't know, I'm trying to give a scenario. I will drive the oldest car in the world just because it starts up and it takes me every time I ask it to take me somewhere, rather than get a brand new car that I constantly have problems with. I would rather work for a company, minimum wage, that does everything it says it's going to do, than work for a company that I constantly have to keep changing things, or I keep having to get lied to, or I keep having to be deceitful or sneaky, for all the money in the world. Like, it's just, my word is worth everything. And when people attack me for my character or for what I've done, it doesn't hurt. Like, I'm the type of person you can say whatever bad thing you ever wanted to say to me, and it would not hurt me because it's not something I've already said to myself. It's not something that I already feel inside. So what you think about me, trust me, is not worse than what I already think about myself. But there's people out here, man, that need help. And they're scared to actually say the things that I say because they don't want to get locked up. They don't want to go through the BS. Because to be honest with you, people like me, all they want to do is pump us full of pills. And I'm not a pill taker. I don't like, if I can't have my natural thoughts, I don't want it. But it's tough. This thing is at like 34 minutes. And like I said, I apologize for it being long. But I just wanted to share this. And feel free to share to somebody. You can just do not reach out to me. I'm gonna be all right. But send this to somebody who you think feels like this, and just ask them, hey, is this you? Is this how you feel? All right, now okay, so what? And if you really love that person, I shouldn't have to tell you what to do. You should know what to do. If you really care about that person, you should know. Another clear sign is, I'm gonna give you, is when you think somebody is very snappy, like something is bothering them, but you think it's small, 9 times out of 10, it wasn't small. What it was it's something that was continually built up. And that may just been the straw that broke the camel's back. Sometimes I just want to break shit. Like I just want to, there's plenty of times I wanted to take a bat and just punch out the walls of my car, my windows, in my car, or just go ham on a wall or something. But, we know, and I know that's not the answer. So it's like, I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. I feel like another sign too for somebody who's similar to me is I always go with the flow. When you know somebody that's be like, I don't care what we do, let's just go with the flow. That's a person that may be hurting because we're like that because we're tired. We just don't want to make a decision. We've been having to make decisions all week, all day, all our lives about something. I have to be the leader. I have to be the man in charge. I have to be this. I have to be that. And then I got to make a decision about something. Sometimes we just don't want to make a decision. Sometimes we just want to get in the car and just go. What time am I going to be back? Just to make sure I got enough time. But other than that, I'm trying to think of some more signs so y'all can help people. Here's another sign. 1 week or 1 month, we're social butterflies. Yesterday we were having the time of our lives, but then today it's like a complete 180. Like if you look at that person from last week to today, or even yesterday to today, and I'm not talking about like a steady decline down. I'm talking about a drastic change. That is also another clear sign that person needs help. That person is hurting. That person is struggling. Trying to think of some more signs. Here's another sign. People who open up too much. Well, too much to some people. Why is that a sign? Because we don't care. I don't care what you know about me, whether it's the good, the bad, the ugly. If I did something wrong, I'm not scared of my failures. I'm not scared to do something wrong and be corrected. But if you ask me for my life story, or if you ask me to tell you about myself, I'm giving you everything. Everything. Whether I messed up or whether I look like a hero. Whether I look like a villain or whether I look like the best person in the world, I'm giving you all of it fast. People like that, that's their way of getting it out sometimes. So sometimes these are people who be at bars alone. Sometimes a simple or we relate, you know. I'm also want to say this: if you are the type of person that are with somebody only because, not with somebody, but if you can handle them when they're good, like we're partying or we making money together or we're doing everything together, fun. But then soon as I have an issue or as soon as I have a problem or as soon as I get depressed or as soon as anything go wrong in my life and you hightail or you're around just when the stuff is good, do me a favor. You are a problem to that person. Just because we know each other does not mean we have to be really good friends. I am not for everybody. Everybody is not for me. Yes, I may like you, but that does not mean we good together as friends. Sometimes we're just good together in that moment, at that party. Do not assert yourself in these people's lives if you're not going to be there through the whole process. And there's nothing wrong with you not being able to do that. To protect yourself and protect them. There's nothing wrong with separating yourself from people because you can't be there for them in the way they need to. I would rather you tell me that than for me to constantly call you when I'm in need and you not answer. The best thing you can do for these people is be 100% honest. If you don't understand how I feel, say that. There's nothing wrong with that. You can still be there for me and not understand how I feel. There's no problem at all. Another thing that's triggering to people like myself is your cliches. Your cliches is annoying. They do not help. They do not work. They are stupid to us. It may work for you. It may, oh, pray about it. Nigga, we have. The sun comes out tomorrow. No shit. These little cliches, it's darkest before it's light. Thank you. Appreciate that. It means nothing to us. Everybody goes through problems. No shit. I know that. I'm not saying my problems is no bigger than the other problem. But what I am saying is there's a lot more people in your circle that's going through what I'm going through or have been going through what I'm going through. And they're not saying nothing. So this is for you to get that hint. They may be crying out to you and you just don't know. These are the signs to know. Stop with the cliches, please. Them shits, you keep giving me cliches or keep giving people like me cliches, that is one way to exit stage right. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I know that Bible like the back of my hand. My dad is an evangelist. My mom raised me in the church. I was in the church my whole adult life up until maybe 30. And not to say once I turned 30, I stopped going to church. I know my relationship with God. Everybody's relationship with God is different. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But your little cliche sayings, that doesn't help. You got to fall before you get up. Like that, shit like that. Like that's one way of me being like not talking to you about my issues and just keep bottling it up around you. Because you're trying to give me, it's almost like you're giving me a cheat code to some BS, if we really break it down, makes no sense. And then it's like you're just hoping I accept it to change the subject or to get out of that situation. When you have the right to get out of that situation and because you don't have to deal with us. We are all right when people walk out of our lives. It hurts tremendously. But I would rather you walk out of my life and then not be there when I need you. Because that hurts more. Another sign, speaking of that, another sign is people who are always forgiven. People who are always forgiven. People who stay in toxic relationships. Because we need some type of validation of being loved. Like I said earlier, we just don't like negative energy. So I would rather keep the peace and deal with a situation that I don't want to be in rather than it being 100% negative. So just to put it in perspective, it's almost like a half glass full. I know I said no cliches, but I will always look at things from a positive aspect rather because I don't want to deal with negativity. And I don't want to deal with the negativity because I know how much it hurts when I'm wrong about somebody. I know how much it hurts when you're mad at me. If someone is mad at me or someone expresses deep unpleasure with something I've done, I will try to get that issue resolved immediately. Even if I'm wrong, I'll apologize, I will take it, but then I will also know how to deal with that person. So it's not the fact that I'm a glutton for punishment, no. Because I just know how to go forth with that person. So feel free to share and get people help.